From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us for the February 23rd edition of Carolina Week. I'm Anthony Stokes.
And I'm Courtney Robinson. Our top story tonight. It's been almost a week since the polls closed, and we still don't know who will be UNC Chapel Hill's next student body president. Allison Sossman joins us in the newsroom with an election update. Allison?
Student body president candidates Matt Calabria and Lily West are preparing to defend their campaigns at a Board of Elections hearing Tuesday night, starting at 6. After being flooded with allegations of election law violations, the board collected written statements and compared them with evidence that supported those accusations. Calabria's campaign is charged with illegally campaigning near computer facilities outside Davis and the undergraduate libraries. West's charges center around the actions of her boyfriend and UNC graduate Alistair Cooper. Cooper is accused of serving as an illegal campaign worker and illegally soliciting votes near computer facilities at both the Student Union and the undergraduate library. The BOE discovered Cooper used West's Onion to log onto undergraduate library computers 7 times in the final 40 minutes of voting last Tuesday night.
Allison, what will happen if these charges result in the candidates being disqualified?
If one of the candidates is disqualified, then the other will win by default. If neither is disqualified, West will win the race by a 7-vote margin. And if both candidates are disqualified, then current SBP Matt Tepper will call for a special re-election March 2nd.
Thanks, Allison. We'll keep you updated as the election investigation unfolds.
Have you ever pulled an all-nighter? Ever pulled one to benefit someone else? Dancers from all across campus did, from Friday evening until Saturday evening. Colors, emotions, twists, and shouts were part of Fetzer Gymnasium for 24 hours as part of the 6th annual Dance Marathon. 36 groups performed in front of more than 600 dancers who didn't stop shaking to the rhythms the whole time.
It was definitely very, very tiring, but it was very worth it. In the end, it was just all for the children, and I'm so glad that I did it, and I'd do it again any day.
Hula hoops, basketball games, learning a little choreography, bright Hawaiian costumes, anything to keep the dancers alert and on their feet. The best part came at the end when the UNC Dance Marathon Committee announced it had broken the record by collecting more than $170,000 to benefit children and families at the North Carolina Children's Hospital.
The snow is gone, but it has left some bumpy conditions along Chapel Hill and Carborough roadways. North Carolina Department of Transportation officials say this is one of the worst years they've seen for potholes caused by bad weather. Weeks after an ice storm and 2 snowstorms, Chapel Hill and Carborough crews are backlogged on calls to repair potholes. Public Works officials say crews are patching holes for a temporary fix, but it might be March before repairs are caught up.
Avoiding potholes is one thing. Finding a place to park is an even bigger challenge. Joe Mott tried to find out why some parking spaces aren't open, even when it seems they should be.
South Road has the most concentrated group of metered parking spaces on campus. But why are so many of the meters covered and blocked off so often? Many UNC students don't have a clue.
Yeah, honestly, I have no idea. I've wondered, but I've never really known what they've used them for.
I couldn't tell you. I just think it's the city blocking it off, or the university blocking it off.
I think it's a big conspiracy.
To unravel the mystery, we went directly to the source. DPS Parking Control Supervisor Deborah Hawkins.
What athletics has done is made reservations for them, and we bill them at the end of the event for having bagged the meters and for the lost revenue from the hoods being on the meters.
Hawkins explained the spaces have to be blocked off the night before an event to prevent DPS from having to tow cars left in the spaces. The spots are then used for scorekeepers, referees, disabled persons, or the media. But the consequence is the spaces are unused the entire day before. So where are the students supposed to look for parking?
South Road is the first place most people come to look for a parking spot. However, on days like this where there are events at night, they block off the road with cones, making it very difficult to find parking on campus.
After we explained the DPS's policies, some students said they understood the reasons, but still didn't like the situation.
I just personally, it inconveniences me, but I mean, it's not all about me. I guess it's a good system.
I simply just think it's being blocked off, and I've never seen it moved or permits given for it.
There's a good reason behind it, but as you can see, it's highly ineffective. There's several open spots here.
Hawkins says the department is doing its best and suggests students try to rely less on metered parking and more on public transportation. For the time being, students and faculty will have to be flexible with the system in place and try to find parking where they can. In Chapel Hill, I'm Joe Mott, Carolina Week.
For more information about event parking, visit our website, carolinaweek.org. A short drive up Highway 86 can take you more than 200 years back in time.
It isn't often Orange County residents hear the words, "The British are coming."
I love this place. You give blood and they take the platelets out and give the blood back to you. It gives me goosebumps just to think about it. The hours are a bit strange, but I'm getting used to that. I come whenever I can. After all, isn't it better to give blood to them than to you know who? Just kidding.
Count.
1, 2, 3. Old habits die hard.
For more information on how you can donate, contact the UNC Blood Center.
I think I'll give O negative today.
Boy, that guy is weird.
If you're not recycling, you're throwing it all away.
North Carolina is home to more Native Americans than any other state east of the Mississippi River. This weekend, people from across the country came to Durham for the 13th annual Native American Powwow. People of all ages danced throughout the day. Others chatted with friends, checked out a wide array of arts and crafts, and others chowed down on buffalo stew and fry bread. Participant Mary Hope Billings says it's important that everyone recognizes the rich heritage and history of the Native American community.
We are an important part of the culture of this country, that we are vibrant, we are alive, and that there's a lot that can be learned by watching and listening to us.
The Native American Club of the North Carolina School of Science and Mathematics sponsored the event. Organizers say the powwow attracted about 2,000 people.
Are you looking to redecorate? Chapel Hill residents can fill their empty wall space and support a good cause. The 20th annual Through Women's Eyes by Women's Hands art show and auction opened Friday night. Guests viewed and purchased paintings, photographs, jewelry, and sculptures at the exhibit held in the Sheraton Chapel Hill Hotel. The show features art only created by women. Artist Michelle Nuttall has participated in the show for years.
It's just really amazing as an artist to see this much support for the work, and also by supporting the art, people can also support a great cause.
All net proceeds from the show's event will benefit the Women's Center, a nonprofit organization serving women in the Triangle with information, education, support, and referral services. The art exhibit runs through Sunday, February 29th.
Art is part of every facet of our culture, even the judicial system. The Orange County Courthouse has a new look. Looking into the courtroom, you can now see a 6-panel mural. The judge has the best view, but juries will have something to look at as well. If UNC students find themselves in the courtroom, they'll be happy to know this ticket came from a Carolina win. Painter Michael Brown's piece celebrates the county's 250th anniversary and legacy. Agriculture, science, and medicine are covered, as well as civil rights activists. The harder part of history are also included, from the Trail of Tears to the Revolutionary War. To some, that struggle for independence is still going on. Corporal Mike Zaturga of the King's Infantry knows how the British can still pull off a win.
Cold steel, of course. We get in close to them, and if they stand like real men, we'll kill them.
Reenactors gathered at the Dixon House in Hillsborough on a windy Saturday to recreate the British occupation of the town in 1781. They demonstrated what life was like for both British and American loyalists. Actors wore authentic costumes and props and even made lunch 18th century style. Adults and children enjoyed the living history lesson, and no one enjoyed it more than the reenactors. This is the 4th time the group's 33rd Regiment of Foot and the King's Own Patriots have put on the event. Well, another battle was going on in the Dean Dome this weekend with Carolina battling it out between Florida State. Brad, can you tell us more about that?
Sure, absolutely. It's not necessarily a life and death situation like the Revolutionary War, but there's still a lot of competition that the ACC has. This weekend was full of ACC action with some ACC competition sandwiched in with the beginning of some spring sports. But first, here's our sports trivia question. Which UNC female athlete won an individual ACC title this weekend? Lauren Garrity, Jessie Perquette, Kelly Weeks, or all of the above? We'll have the answer when we come back.
At Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
The all-American pastime, the beauty of bright blue skies in spring, the scintillating scent of hot dogs on the grill, and the roar of the crowd, and the ping of aluminum against horsehide. Carolina baseball is back. Playing in front of a sellout crowd at Boschmer Stadium Friday, the Tar Heel baseball team takes on Seton Hall in the first game of the season. Down 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th, right fielder Marshall Hubbard provides the crowd with some juicy entertainment with his solo bomb to left. It's tied up at 3-3. We're going into extra innings, folks. To the bottom of the 11th we go. Seton Hall pitcher Greg Noonan tries to retire Tar Heel Greg Mangum, but Mangum decides to bang him with a bases-loaded single for the winning run. With the opening day victory, head coach Mike Fox is thrilled to start off with some flair.
Whenever you're at home and you just keep the other team at bay, you always got a shot in the bottom of the inning. So we got a lot of guys in the game today, some pinch hitters, and so it was a great way for us to start.
The softball team split 6 games at the Oklahoma Nike Tournament in Norman, Oklahoma this weekend. The ladies beat Sam Houston State in Friday's doubleheader and won the first of Sunday's games against Louisville. Carolina tried to put up a fight against number 4 ranked Oklahoma, but lost early in the 5th inning as a result of the 10-0 mercy rule. The baseball and softball teams both have action this week. The baseball team will host Gardner-Webb on Tuesday at 3, and Carolina will travel to Charlotte for a Wednesday afternoon softball matchup. The men's basketball team can't afford many more losses. The Heels look to win back-to-back games for the first time in nearly a month when they faced off against Florida State Saturday. Rashad McCants wasn't feeling well coming into this game, but Mr. Consistency still led the team in scoring with 21 points. Florida State's Tim Pickett and Andrew Wilson combined for more than 70% of the team's points. No other Knoll was in double figures. With 3 minutes to go, the Seminoles closed within 1 point before McCants decided to take this loose ball and turn it into this three-pointer. McCants' heroics led to a 7-point win.
Rashad didn't feel very good. He didn't feel good yesterday at practice. Felt like a little cold was coming on, and told him I've known very good players, including Michael Jordan, that a lot of times focused even better. So I think he got a little frustrated at the officials out there as well.
Roy did more than coach Saturday afternoon. He emceed a pregame celebration in honor of 2 humble Carolina legends.
One of them is even more embarrassed than the other one is more embarrassed than he should be. But I want you to show this special recognition for Coach Dean Smith and Coach Bill Governor.
Two great Carolina coaches weren't the only ones honored Saturday. 219 Tar Heel lettermen dating back to the 1950s were at the Smith Center for a celebration of Carolina basketball and its rich history. From those most well-known, including Brad Doherty, to those faces you would never recognize without a jersey number, it was a day for everyone inside the Dean Dome. With the win against Florida State, the Heels get to 500 in the ACC at 6-6. Next game is Tuesday night at Virginia. Lately, the women's basketball team has looked, well, not so good. The Lady Tar Heels rode a 2-game losing streak into Thursday's matchup against Maryland. Back in Carmichael Auditorium after a 1-game hiatus at the Smith Center, there was a whole lot of scoring going on, and a little scoring too. And you get the point. 5 Tar Heels scored in double figures as Coach Sylvia Hatchell's 16th-ranked Heels fought off rallies from a streaky Maryland team to win 79-64. Hatchell smiled after the win, but says she can't wait until the ACC tournament, where her Heels will have a shot at avenging recent losses.
I mean, we've been a team that usually can get pretty focused for the ACC tournament. And so hopefully, I mean, it's sort of scary how good we can be, and it's sort of scary how bad we can be. So hopefully we can go over there and have a great tournament.
Carolina Gymnastics is on a roll and refuses to let anyone stand in the way. The team scored more than 197 points in defeating William and Mary, Townsend, and Rutgers on Sunday afternoon. Freshman Christine Robella led the Tar Heels by winning the all-around with a score of 39.675, the 3rd highest score in school history. Junior Olivia Trusty helped the Tar Heels capture the top 4 all-around spots by winning the vault and capturing the 2nd on floor. The Heels scored a school record on floor as sophomore Courtney Bumpers earned her 3rd 10 in a row in that event. Bumpers says the 10 was nice, but having fun was the best part.
It was so much fun just to perform out in front of all these people who are here and in front of my team, and to hit that was so much fun. And getting the 10 was just the icing on the cake. It just made it that much better.
Carolina had some indoor action of another kind at the Cone Kinfield Tennis Center Sunday. The women started strong against the Northwestern Wildcats as Aniela Mojic and Kendall Klein rallied past the nation's #1 doubles duo 8-6. A little tired from the first match, Mojic made some unforced errors and fell to Crystal Greer in singles. But with the doubles point and the solid performance of the other Heels, Carolina ended the weekend with its 5th home win and a record of 9-1. On the men's side, after beating Virginia Tech Friday, the Heels took on 12th-ranked Virginia Commonwealth Sunday. #1 double seed Nick Monroe and Jeff Boyd grab a win, but the other doubles teams struggle, giving VCU the doubles point. In singles action, Monroe stays on his hot streak, but the rest of the Heels can't stay with the Rams. #2 Andy Metzler goes down, as does #5 seed Brad Pomeroy, as VCU hands Carolina its first loss of the season, 5-2. ACC postseason action is underway for 2 winter sports. The track and field teams fared well at the indoor championships in Clemson, with the women picking up 1st place and the men placing 4th in overall team points. The Heels didn't capture many individual titles, but racked up points with a lot of 2nd and 3rd place finishes. It was the 15th indoor title for the women. UVA hosted the women's swimming and diving ACC championships, and the Wahoos claimed 1st overall, but the Heels held on tight, placing 2nd and grabbing 2 individual titles in butterfly and freestyle. A lot of action, like I said, a full weekend of competition here, but you know, a lot of good things came out of the weekend, a lot of wins that the Tar Heel teams picked up.
Definitely.
Yeah, so how about an answer our sports trivia question this week? Sorry.
I'm gonna guess D.
Well, I'm embarrassed to say that I'm not really on top of my trivia answers. So, Brad, I'm hoping you can just kind of fill me in and tell me what the answer to this question might be.
Well, Anthony's actually got it right. It is D. All of the above won this weekend. Like I said, great. Lauren Garrity won the indoor shot put and the weight throw championships for the 2nd straight year. Perquette won her 4th title in the 100-meter freestyle with a time of 49.99, and Weeks captured 1st in the 200-meter butterfly.
Well, Anthony, it looks like you have been up on your sports trivia.
I'm getting better at it, yeah.
Yes. Well, that does it for this edition of Carolina Week. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Good night.